Hello everyone, Redbeard here back at it again, and today I'm just talking about the price controversy with the Shadows of Change. So, I mean, it's the discussion about it is really big right now, so I thought I'd just throw my hat in the ring and give my 2 cents, my piece on it. Um, Definitely, like, I saw this coming with Chaos Dwarves. They said, oh, every DLC is gonna be like this now. You know, it very much seemed like a warning, like, hey, like, this isn't just a race pack, every DLC. It seemed like they were setting it up. Now, I thought what would probably happen is we would get, like, maybe 6 units per race, a generic lord, a generic hero, and then the 3 legendary lords, legendary hero, the free legendary hero, and hopefully 1 legendary hero that's just not mentioned at all. It's just like free with the update. Maybe like specifically for 1 lord or whatever. But it's, I mean, we're not even getting that. We're getting 1 generic lord for Cathay, 1 generic hero for Tzeentch. Not Tzeentch, Kislev, and then Tzeentch is apparently getting nothing. It's just getting the 2 legendary heroes of Akold and the Blue Scribes. Which is, I mean, yeah, this is maybe, you know, with inflation, maybe this could be $15 like the Champions of Chaos. You know, and I just don't see how they didn't see this coming with the previous 2 DLCs. Like, Champions of Chaos had a little, and Chaos Dwarves both had a discussion about pricing. With Chaos Dwarves, you know, I think it was just in the realm of justifiable, right? I think the race packs were $18.99 or something along those lines for Warhammer 2. With inflation, with demand for the game and its popularity, $25 is about as high as they could go. But I think it was in the realm of reasonability, just on the edge. So that's why I end up pre-ordering, and I think I only pre-ordered within the last week, but for this one right now, Shadows of Change, I'm not sure I'm going to buy it. I mean, I'm sure CA or Sega or whoever's making the decisions already calculated that, you know, whoever's not going to buy it in pre-order or at launch are probably going to wait for a sale and then buy it anyway, and, you know, we'll get their money at some point anyways. So why not price hike it this high? I mean, it's price gouging to the it's a lot, but so point is, Shadows of Change is much closer in the amount of content you get to what we saw in Warhammer 2 DLC. I mean, man, gone are the days of the goodwill, good faith acts like Free Britonia, which I think that was only a thing because they had already been working on it before. Whereas Chaos was the pre-order, something along those lines. But Warhammer 2, you know, getting a free lord with every single DLC, free faction with that lord. And then if legendary heroes ever came, they weren't discussed as part of the DLC or the FLC. They were just added, like Sisters of Twilight, that DLC rather, Twisted in Twilight, had 3 legendary heroes, if I'm not mistaken. Kodil, Ariel, and Gorich. So, yeah. You know, I was hoping that same thing would happen in the Beastman update, that we would get a, like, who's the Morslib, the Moonclaw. I hoped we would get Moonclaw as a legendary hero then, and or who are they against? The Lizardmen? I was hoping maybe they get Chocox as a legendary hero. They didn't get any legendary heroes in that update. Anyway, so Twisted in the Twilight was, man, was peak DLC. The Beastman update was obviously really good, and I love Beastman and Torox. But back to the point. Yeah, for me to really justify buying this DLC. I need at least, kind of what I was saying in the beginning is, 6 units per race. And, if some of them are reskins, that's fine. Like, well, let's talk about the Zongors for a second. How in the world are we only getting one Zongor? When I get it, they're AOS units, but, the Skyfires and the Enlightened and Zongor Shaman. Like, why in the world aren't we getting a Zongor Shaman as either a Lord or hero? And, some people are like, oh, they didn't... I think the Zongor unit is actually good. Like, a shielded version of a Bestigor with barrier, and then apparently they have some ability that, like, saps magic or something. I can't exactly remember what it was, but I think that unit works by itself fine, but the fact that there's only one variant of Zongor at all, like, there's so many good Zongor variants. The Skyfires, particularly, but also a Shaman. The Enlightened would be a nice touch, too, but and yeah, I definitely think we should have bird beaks, but at the end of the day, somebody will probably make a mod for it, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, if we had, like, variants like the Jet Lion and the Jade Lion, like, if we had, like, 5 of those and then 15 other units that were, unique, that would be fine. I would be fine with that. That, again, one generic Lord and hero for each race, and then the 3 legendary lords, and a legendary hero. Boom. Yeah, that would just about justify. Nah, I don't know about 25, but 20 maybe. 9. The most I feel like I would feel was reasonable for this DLC would have to start with a 1, like $19.99. I would still think that would be way too high, but I'd still be able to justify it. More in the realm of like $18. I think a lot of people agree that 18 would be a good number, would be reasonable. Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't think they're going to change the price. I think they're going to do what they always do. It's just pretend it's not happening, I guess. Not talk about it. Ugh. It's sad. It's sad. It definitely is. But, I do want... I'm on the fence because I really want to buy every DLC I can to say to them, like, hey, please make this go more than 3 to 4 years. Please make this go bare minimum 5 more years. I want to say that with my money, but, I can only go so far before I feel like I'm being done over. Like, I have a problem with, like, just people trying to pull a fast one on me, And yeah, obviously most people do. So, I don't really know what else to say. I don't really want to, like, harp on this conversation too much because it just brings me down a little bit. It is sad. Greed is a timeless old tale. I really think that CA needs to, or Sega, or whoever's making the decisions need to think about, like, getting a free race, maybe, in the lineup in the future. Like, after their, what is probably a quartet of DLC, but, like, the Tzeentch, then Nurgle, then Slaanesh, then Khorne. After that, like, yeah, like a whatever race comes next, I feel like, man, you should make that free. I think we're done with the good faith acts, unless they really listen to this backlash, because it's getting pretty up there. Yeah. I would encourage most people to wait for a sale, but at the end of the day, it's your money. Do what you want with it. If $25 means nothing to you, go ahead and buy it, man. Yeah. I still don't know if I will or will not. Time will tell. But, you know, with games like Baldur's Gate 3 out right now, that just are such a like a good faith. You know, the last one I can really remember before that is The Witcher 3's launch, where it was just like, yeah, all DLC will be free, all updates will be free. You just have to pay for the game once, and you get way more content than most games give you, whilst, you know, trying to shill you for every little bit of content that they give, every cosmetic, and you know, I think a lot of people are really tired with the gaming industry, with the way it's going. Yeah, I think for most of Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2, I think CA mostly bought a lot of good faith, but I think it's just about run out with this move. Yeah. I still think they should lower it $5. I don't think they will, but you know, they need to think about what they're gonna do as far as good faith acts, instead of just trying to squeeze this game out. Because, you know, I can just see them pulling a Three Kingdoms, and, you know, if the DLC isn't selling, then just like, oh, well, you guys aren't buying. It's like, well, you know, we don't like getting done over. It's not that we don't want to play the content. We just, like any reasonable human being, don't want to be done over. Yeah. I think the content looks great, you know. At some point, I'm gonna buy it. I think I want to wait for a sale, but we'll see. Yuan Bo, Mother of Stankia, the Changeling, they all look great. And you know, there's another thing, is that we might not have seen everything on offer yet. That's the little bit of hope I'm holding on to, is like, you know, especially in like the generic Lord and Heroes, and pretty much just that, because they pretty much laid the cards on the table. But the race reworks, like in the roadmap, it said race updates. So far, we haven't heard anything about race updates to Zinch, Cathay, or Kislev. We did have mention of Lizardman somewhere. I think maybe it's on the Steam page. So maybe there's a little bit of a rework coming for Lizardman. I don't think it's going to be the Geomantic Web rework. At least we should get Nakai. I don't know if that's still a thing right now. You can let me know in the comments if he can't recruit his Croxagores still. I mean, man. And that's another thing to talk about too, is, you know, you're shilling out, or you're making us, you know, pay like $25 or whatever it is in your country. You know, when it was the same kind of content was $10 before. Now we're paying more than double. If it was one thing, it would be double. It'd still be crazy, but like quite a lot. But more than double? Wow. I mean, bold move. Bold move. So what I wanted to say was, like, the amount of developers. There's 20 developers working on the DLCs right now. And you know, they just the bugs keep stacking up, you know. I always have the community bug mod on. I think most people have had that on for all of like, in Warhammer 2, I actually didn't use it all the time. Like, I tried to not use it when bugs weren't too bad. But yeah, Warhammer 3, I always use the bug mod. Point being, I think they need to add at least, and I think I've said it once before, 10 developers for a total of 30. Like, the developers are barely managing, clearly. So I think adding 10 more, I think will clear up any issues. And like, you got to pay these guys. You got to pay enough people to do the right job if you're going to make this much of a price hike. Like if you're selling it as like premium, that primo shit, you gotta put more work into it. You gotta get a custodian team. I think Milk and Cookies put it. You gotta put a custodian team on this. And not all the 10 guys have to just work on custodianism. If things are running well, maybe that little extra content can, workforce can go towards, making sure we get these generic lords and heroes for each one of these races. Getting enough units. You have to, in the Chaos Dwarves, we got a whole race. So something like 25 units, 3 legendary lords, 2 generic lords, 3 generic heroes, 1 legendary hero. That's about how much we got. Man, if we are getting that, that is just so much more content than what so far has been displayed. The only thing they haven't showed their hand on, I think, is really what kind of generic lords and heroes we're getting. Man. Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave this and get on with my life. So, I still have one more video of speculation for the dwarves that I keep mentioning at the last couple videos. It just requires a lot of editing, and I haven't had enough time to sit down with it. I've been busy, but all my free time that I do have has just been to Baldur's Gate. I'm in love with that game. What a good faith company, and just a game for gamers. Not trying to do you over. And then we have games like Remnant 2. We have games like Starfield coming out, which that's Bethesda, and it's not out yet, so who knows? But they said they spent the whole last year polishing Starfield. Like, not even working on anything else, but the game's done, and they were just, for a year, working on polishing the game. So, I have a lot of... between those 3 games, I really don't need Shadows of Change right now. If I decide not to buy the DLC, which is the way I'm leaning right now. Which is a first, really. I think I talked about the price of the Chaos Dwarves, but I think I said I'm still going to buy it. I don't think I'm going to buy this one right away. But, again, between those 3 great games coming out, or already out, yeah, man, I can fill my time with something else. Man, I do want this game to go more than 3 to 4 years, though. I'll tell you what. It's just, I'm willing to keep paying you guys, but I don't like being done over. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I love you guys. Thanks for being here and all the way to the end of the video if you're still here. Stick around. I got more to come. Thanks. Bye.